Hey friends, what's up? It's been a while since I've been on here, and I wanted to have a conversation about values and levels of consciousness, which I think is a really fun topic. Um, I tried to record this video once already, and the brow furrow was crazy because my eyes were directly in the sun. But I think I like this angle a little bit better. Um, anyways, yeah. Uh, so values and levels of consciousness. This is my opinion. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I have studied psychology. I do work in a field that requires you to kind of be people's therapist. So you hear a lot of different things. I'm a personal trainer. So I've been a personal trainer now for 3 years. So it really opens you up to the reasons why people train and why they do exercise or why they want to lose weight or why they want to be better or whatever, have a nice body, have nice glutes, have abs, whatever it is, right? um so yeah, um it's interesting to understand, you know how people's values tie into how they feel physically also. I've noticed that people with lower levels of consciousness, and this is my own opinion, they don't value the way that they look as much. you know they're just kind of like, well, I'm just like in a body, and like my consciousness and my soul are the thing that makes me who I am. But like, it's like, babe, are you awake? Like, we're on here on earth. I can touch and feel my own body. Like, it's there. Like, I can be all like, was it like wee woo or woo wee, I don't know, like whatever that is, like whatever that word is, like when people are like really like spiritual and like, I think it's woo wee or wee woo, something like that. Um, and I'm just like, well, I'm just like an entity, and like my energy is here for this reason, and I'm like, that's nice, but like, we're here on Earth, babe. Like, I can feel you. And I think that's a lower level of consciousness, and I think it's advertised as woke. I think it's advertised as like, well, I'm just like in this meat sack, and I'm like, yeah, you're in that meat sack, like, actually, you're not just like in it like in a spiritual way. um and that's another thing for me, when people value food as like their reason to live. Like, I get it, like, we need to eat, it's a part of life. But really, like, what kind of value are you placing on food? Are you placing value on food because it's sustenance and you can make it taste good, which is what I do. I love food. And I try to eat things that make me feel good most of the time. I'm a healthy eater. If I'm being honest, like, my issue was just, I overeat if I'm like stressed. But I'll usually make a healthy decision. Like, I'll eat like chicken, or like baked chicken, or some kind of like protein. Um, but yeah, that was my issue for a while, and I had to understand and get um, a more complex set of values, and reach a higher level of consciousness to understand that, okay, well, I can still love food, and it doesn't have to be the most important thing. It doesn't have to be the motivating factor. It doesn't have to be the reason why I feel connected to other people. Like, it's not the sole reason. It's one of them, but it's not like the main reason. And I think people that have lower levels of consciousness, they value food to that level, to that extent. Like, people who you know really place a lot of importance on, you know well, I can cook this and that, and like, I'm just like, I'm the best person ever because like I can cook, and that's like the best thing about me. And then like, people go crazy over that, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, okay, well, I don't think it's that important. And the reason I don't think it is that important is because when I think of success and when I think of getting places in life, I don't think of, okay, well, my best friend or my girlfriend can like cook me this amazing meal. It's more kind of like I'm able to travel to these places and, you know, see things that so many people want to see. And, maybe one of those things is a croissant, but like it's not the fact that I'm going to taste this croissant that makes it cool. It's the fact that a lot of people recognize it. So, I think I think in general, people with higher levels of consciousness tend to want to travel and experience things like that. I think people who have higher level of consciousness, if we're going like 5 is like the most conscious and then 1 is like the least conscious. I would say 1 is like the person who's working, you know, whatever job they're working, it's not really any important job. I mean, not to say that, jobs aren't important. I mean, some of them are just kind of like busy work at this point. Um, but someone who has a job who has no intention of increasing their skills and making more money and making better wage and staying there because simply for the fact that they're happy that they can cook themselves a steak every Friday night and that's all they desire out of life. They don't want to travel, they don't want to experience new things. Music isn't that important to them, art isn't that important to them. I would say that's a level 1 consciousness. Maybe they're a drug user as well. And then a level 5 consciousness would be someone who values experience. So, yeah, experience and beautiful things like art. I mean, I really value art, um, and I think the body is art too. And honestly, that's why I became a personal trainer because um, I I've had this relationship with my body, and I feel like it's taken me a while to get to the point where okay, I actually understand why I value the way that my body looks instead of just being in a meat sack. And I don't think I introduced myself, but I'm going to now, even though it's like literally the end of the video. And whatever username I used to have on here, or whatever it is now, I'm going to just introduce myself as is. My name is Heather. Um, and whatever, maybe my username will change or evolve or whatever. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. Do I think I'm better than other people? Yeah, hell yeah. And you should too. So, whatever. Fuck that like incel like looks maxing shit, like that's like just some like arbitrary like specific Reddit thread that explains like how you should look, and I think it's so dumb. But you know, I do feel there's art in the way that you can improve yourself. So you know, anyways, I don't know what else to say. I don't know how to close that thought out. I'm done talking. I'm getting kind of tired of sitting in this position, so I'm gonna stop. So okay, bye.